Okay, Ian.
Pat.
We have a. God, do we really have to do this? There is an Amico Intellivision Amico new gameplay trailer just came out this morning, right at the same time as the Nintendo Indie Direct, which was interesting. The Nintendo Indie Direct.
Yes.
We watched that before the podcast. Like, oh, there's some nice games coming out. There's a game where you can, it's an adventure game where you can turn into a cat and a dog and explore the town.
The Good Life.
The Good Life. That looked really good.
By Swery65. Yeah, that'll be good. That shooter, Bark with the...
There's an animal shooter up to 4-player.
3-player
and
shooter.
It's local co-op. I didn't know those games existed on the Switch.
Well, that was something that was interesting about this Indie Direct as we get into this Amico trailer that we're going to watch. Is there was a few games that really
specifically said
local co-op,
local co-op multiplayer.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. We're out of it.
We need a new system. We need to buy something new to take care of this.
Don't yell at me.
We can't do it with what we have. We can't get together and have fun with friends and family unless we buy an Amico.
Board games don't exist anymore.
Nothing exists. The Amico will save us all.
All right, we're going to watch this on the obscenely expensive CU Podcastron 3000.
Yes, we're going to watch it on the Podcastron.
The Podcastron. We haven't, and neither of us have watched it yet. So I'm gonna go into this open-minded, and I say that with all honesty. And Pat's almost always honest when it comes to these things. And we'll discuss what we see afterwards. We'll slow it down afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, let's see. Oh, let's put out the audio here. We'll put the. Okay, we got the audio up. Okay, we got the logo here. Here we go, Ian. We ready here?
Yeah, let's do this shit.
I won't pause it the first time through here.
All right.
That's really loud. Sorry about that. That's really loud. Let me lower that. There. I don't need too much Amico right there. Okay. Incomplete. Okay, I'll pause it. Incomplete early work in progress gameplay demos. Okay. A little echo looking action there. Is that a killer whale or a dolphin? Safe cracker game. Okay, we got pool. That was in the original trailer, I believe, or the Gamescom trailer, a little racing game. Shark!
There's the shark.
I actually like how the shark looks. He looks kind of happy. Cornhole with unlockable levels. There's your breakout. Astro Smash. This is loud. I gotta turn this music off. I thought there'd be gameplay, actual gameplay music. Plus, I don't want to get demonetized for that. It's a tank game there. Was that like a Bomberman type of game?
Looks
almost
like it might have been.
That's just, that's Pong with a minigun. Well, a Pong / breakout sort of game. That's literally Pong.
Jesus, that looks
That's
real bad.
That's literally Pong. Okay. That's my Coleco Telstar. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Missile Command. Evil Knievel. We got Evil back. All right. We're going for the 40. We really are going 40 years old for Evil Knievel. That one does not look that good. Okay, there's a dice game. There's skiing. I guess that's your Intellivision skiing sort of counterpart there. God, this is fucking awful, this music.
Yeah,
it's fucking bad.
It's very bad.
Oh, we're still skiing, sorry.
Yep.
All right.
This is the killer app.
Well, there's a lot of skiing being shown more than anything else. I thought that was interesting. Well, what was that? That was a quick little promo shot of, that was like literally a half second of like 3 kids and a guy. There's the Intellivision man running around with a bow and arrow.
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, those Dungeons and Dragons. Here's our Moon Patrol. We got our early access. Look at this on the Amico app. Okay, I do like the fact that you're okay. that it's scrolling. It's up and down a little bit.
Do you like the fact that it's doing basic moon
yes,
control things?
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about. Oh, I did hear there's pre-orders coming. They're doing more pre-orders. There. So okay. You want to go through it, see what we got in here, just real quick? What's your first general impression here of what you're seeing here, Ian? Is there any killer app here that's going to sell this at? We know at this point that the Amico is going to be between $200 and $300. So Pat being right, it's going to be at the very least $229.
And I don't want anyone trying to say, because I saw it on a message board, that a certain health crisis is the reason for this increase in price.
No, it's not.
This price started slipping up way before that even happened.
Yes, and then the Founders Edition was way more than $200. So.
My take on this, honestly, and trying to be as nice as possible, is this looks like a collection of games that you would buy on a fucking CD in the checkout aisle at Computer City for $10, and you would play 3 of them.
In like 1999?
Yes.
2000? So that's almost like, it's not Echo the Dolphin because it's a killer whale, but it could be Mate's Echo there. Okay, so that's not a killer app to me. It's interesting.
This looks miserable.
Safecracker looks like a game where I'm guessing you're going to use your controller to try to do combinations and run things, like a mini adventure, one game. That's an app game. That's an app game.
Yes.
Right there. That's how we should look at these games. Are these games that you should only exist on the Amico, or would need the Amico in order to power these by themselves? What game was this? Oh, that was Safecracker.
Part of Safecracker. I mean, some of the stuff like this looks
like the pool game looks.
If you've ever had like a simple like game development like interface, if you ever use anything like Click and Play or Game Maker or that sort of thing, this looks like the sort of demo stuff you see in there, like
generic
how to make a game,
basic games. Well, a pool game's basic as you can get. I mean, that's I wouldn't have shown that. That should not be a game you would actually buy.
No, sometimes less is not. Sometimes more is not more.
No,
you don't need to show the pool game. It's bad looking.
That's the first one I'm going to say. That's to me an absolute joke to show a pool game. That's a joke. This is actually the highlight to me. And maybe I'm being generous. This could be a fun little racing game like Super Sprint.
I like games like this, but there is no reason that you would need to buy a system to play a game like this.
Well, no, and I can't picture that disc being that fun to play this with versus just an analog.
And you're not wrong, because this is the one where I was like, I would play it because I play lots of games like but Super Sprint exists. I mean, all of the like Micro Machines exist. I like RC Pro M exists.
Well, this kind of looks single screen-esque. I like overhead racing games like Super Off-Road. Right. So this one actually is interesting to me. I'm not sure how this is going to work with multiplayer though. If the screen is moving, you can't have it like that. Then does that make sense? Because
maybe they look at the controller screen.
That's going to be miserable to play it on that though.
I'm not saying it's going to be better. I'm just saying
because that screen is not as big as my iPhone 7 screen probably there. So they show some courses. Again, it looks okay, but again, I can probably download like 5 games on the App Store. It's like that. I was going to say there's some of these games I'm going to look up on the App Store to see how many equivalents there are if you want to look up a racing game like that. Shark. This Shark, as you know, looks traditionally is a single screen game, right? And you're eating fish. That, unless you're an Intellivision fan, that's an absolute joke to see advertised.
That looks ridiculous.
Again, unless you're a Shark fan, that's not moving the needle at all. There. All right, this to me is actually the most interesting one. I'm going to give him credit for this because Cornhole is actually getting more and more popular.
It is.
Nowadays. And motion controls to throw with the controller makes sense for Cornhole.
Sure.
The issue is that you could do a Cornhole game on the Switch with the same accelerometer and gyroscope stuff and do that. I actually looked it up. There is not a standalone Switch Cornhole game. There's a Cornhole game on the Switch as part of a party pack of games that sells for like $20.
Sure.
So not independent. I'm actually surprised though, Ian, there's not a Cornhole game on the Switch because I think it would actually sell. The only other thing I would say though about motion control with a Cornhole game is that when you play Cornhole, the Cornholes weigh about like a pound. You have to let go release point. I'm not sure how it's going to work on a motion controller unless maybe there's a button you release to do it.
Well, it's just like Wii bowling. You let go of the button.
Okay, so you hold the trigger on it.
Yeah, you hold the trigger and you let go at the.
I hope there's
point.
okay. I hope there's a strap on there. But the other the other Wii ones, boxing you hold it, batting you hold it. So again, to me this is interesting. To me, this is just the concept of it. If it's responsive on the throw.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most interesting game on there that we've seen.
How much does a cornhole set cost? I actually want to get a cornhole's fun.
They're not too much.
For what's a basic one cost? $84.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably about 100.
You can get a cheap PVC one for $30. $40. Obviously they go up. You know, the $100 for a decent one. It looks like a Dick's Sporting Goods. So we'll just say for a decent one, probably like $100. Yeah. For a decent one. There. Now I'll say this though: if you're big into cornhole to begin with, you probably have a cornhole set. So this won't. This is a weird thing where, like, if you like cornhole like me, maybe you would try this. But if I have a cornhole set, I would not play this instead of playing cornhole. That's you know what I mean? Because you can experience the full sport for $100. You can't experience ice hockey or boxing that easily compared to that. That's the one thing I'm going to say. I'm not putting this down. I think this is a good idea to do this.
No, but even compared to bowling, this is far more easier to experience in your backyard. Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say though. Is this worth me spending $250? To play this alone? Probably not, when I can play cornhole for $100 to get the full experience and go outside with my kids. But to me, this is a cool experience. And I did look it up on the App Store because I thought this looked very similar to something I looked up on my phone. There is one on the App Store. Again, you're playing on your phone that has like 30 different events like this. It has like a beach, it has everything. So to me, this is the highlight so far. Kudos for the cornhole, especially since it's more popular year after year here. And then board selection. Okay, this is the breakout game we saw before. I think it looks cool. Is it a system seller though?
No, but it looks fun.
It should be packed. This should be a packing game to me.
Yeah.
If I can do market research for Intellivision, this to me should be a packing game because it's flashy.
It's flashy. It's simple. It's easy to pick up and play. It looks fun.
You can't put pool on the system and say, "Hey, we're going to sell a $250 console, $229 plus tax. It's gonna be $250."
But yeah, put the breakout on there. I think the breakout and the cornhole look decent.
I think cornhole has to be a packing game. It has to be. Astro Smash. I'm not a big Astro Smash guy. You are. You can tell me if you think
I like the original Astro Smash. I think this looks cheesy.
It's not. Is it a system seller to play something like this nowadays?
It looks cheap.
It's a mobile game.
It looks cheap. It looks cheaply done. And the other thing, well, no, it looks cheaper than a mobile game. And like you can even see like when it's firing off the lasers in certain shots, you can see like the laser being created behind like the ship in like the rocket or whatever it is. It doesn't look. It looks shitty.
It just doesn't look polished.
Right. It doesn't look polished at all.
Okay. Fight in front of the pyramids there. Okay. Okay. This is another racing game that looks like it's like a racing set, like a matchbox on the ground, and they smash into each other. That looks to me embarrassing to put on this.
Yeah.
That is like with a pool, like you do not put this on here.
No, and I'm going to go ahead and say with the next game that comes up, an overhead brown colored tank game is about as basic as it gets, and it's been done to death.
I'm sure there's probably 10 on the App Store I can buy right now. There was about 6 cornhole games I can get on the App Store, but okay.
Again, it looks cheap.
This is like a Bomberman looking game. It looks like Bomberman. I didn't check to see if they got the license. Do you think they got the license of Bomberman?
No, it doesn't look anything like I mean, it looks like a Bomberman game, but it doesn't look like Bomberman.
It's a Bomberman clone.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got the rights to it. I'm not going to check.
They don't look anything like
this characters. Is, to me, the other weird choice to advertise. This is a souped-up Pong game.
So I've played some fun Pong games like this that do some
minigun.
Fun stuff like
you get lasers.
But, yeah, it's
Breakout / Pong. There's probably 50 of these on the App Store if I look. There's probably a lot of things like this. It looks interesting, but again, is this going to be a system seller? That's the thing. Is like, are you willing to pay $229 plus tax and potentially shipping to get this? That's the thing.
Right.
Would this be a pack-in set, you think? If this is a suite of games, I would say this could be a pack-in.
Sure.
This, Cornhole, Breakout. Then again, the Breakout's can't have 2 Breakout games? I don't know. Okay.
That just looks bad. That just looks like
Wait,
real
is this
bad.
is this not the same game? Is that a different game?
It's the same game.
Why would you show two Pong clones on top of each other?
It's the same game.
It's the same game.
It's the same game, and it looks awful.
Yeah, this looks bad. This looked good. This digitized one looks somewhat decent. This looks like, to your point, this is like a PC game from like the mid to late 90s.
It does. That looks like stock art.
That looks terrible. With the soccer field, basketball court, and then you have the football field there. That looks bad. I'm not gonna. This was a little recording game that it's hard to tell what this is. There's a little ice cream cone, little
Some sort
thing.
of party game of some sort.
That goes by within. Listen closely, and it's gone. I guess if it's recording, you can't really advertise it.
Right.
The trailer music was awful, by the way.
Yes, it was. It was miserable.
Okay, here's this is a missile command, updated missile command that it's hard to tell because it's literally a second.
That doesn't
or
look
two.
like Missile Command to me so much as it does multiplayer sabotage or whatever the fuck the game was called. Saboteur.
Well, there are missiles coming down. They're shooting.
Yeah, true.
I think it's missile command. Let's. So this is.
They got Atari?
There's a list somewhere I can look up. I'll look up on the Wikipedia right now, or if you want to look up as I go through. Yeah, pull up the wiki for what games they have. There's like 22 games I think that they have announced. Okay, this is another embarrassing one to me for a couple of reasons. This is like one of those real physics types of games that like that. There's a billion of these on your
There's
iPhone.
so many of these on your iPhone. This is Trials HD is the long-running one on console that has like 4 entries, and they're fun. But
this is a mistake.
yes.
And then you're partnering with an Evel Knievel license when you really want to show the age of your prospective audience.
Yeah.
There is, I would say, almost no one under. Well, there's no one. There's no one under 40 that was alive to see Evel Knievel, I think, perform because he was done. But he's a huge guy from the early to mid 70s. That's when his zenith was. So we're talking 45 years ago for Evel Knievel. So okay, what's next we got here? There's Sharks in Chicago. Okay, that's cool. There's different sort of stunts you can do.
There's different levels.
But it's still a physics game, a simple physics game where he's wacky, you're hitting down the blocks. Yeah, I personally don't like games like this. Next we have showing the phone, which is funny because that's a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Not the controller, and you're dumping it to show that it's not your controller. Your cell phone can do that. You're virtually throwing the dice for this game. Like it looks like Yahtzee, but there's a lot of dice. Looks like more like a tech demo to me. Okay, this is the one that goes on forever.
They hung on that for a while.
The skiing one is interesting. It's again, we're talking like I'm gonna look up skiing games while you look at that. Did you find the list yet?
Yeah, it's Night Stalker, I believe, not not Night Stalker. Missile Command. Yeah, there it is.
Missile Command's on the list. That's an official Missile Command there. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so what do you think about this skiing game, Ian, when you see this? What do you think when you see this?
I think Ski Free on Windows.
Ski Free? That was a game on Windows?
You never played the skiing game on Windows?
No.
Where the abominable snowman chases you at the end.
It's built into Windows?
It was like everyone had it at one point in time. I think it's a weird game to focus on.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I want to see. There's a snowboarding game that actually looks a lot more advanced than that on here. I'm trying to find a skiing game that's overhead. Oh, found one. Skiing Yeti Mountain, but it's like 8-bit pixel. Looks fun. There's freestyle skiing. I'm trying to find one that's kind of overhead like that. Found one. Ski Legends. I found Ski Legends there, and these are mostly free with in-app purchases. There's a lot of skiing. Wow, skiing games are popular. I always forget how other countries like in Europe, skiing's a lot more popular than here.
Yeah.
There's easily 25 to 30 skiing games. About 25 games here. Arctic Smash looks pretty good. Oh, it's an endless runner skiing game. That's an interesting concept of an endless runner. I guess it makes itself. Okay, so there's a lot of skiing games. This looks like an app game to me.
Yes,
it could be fun. It looks like an app game. Okay. And again, do you need a special controller to play something like this? There'd be no reason to use a special controller for something like this.
Yeah, I'm still trying. Yeah, none of these games have
maybe the Safecracker game?
Yeah, Safecracker probably.
And the Cornhole.
Yes.
But again, it's all motion controls. There's other systems you can do that. But okay, this one went on for like 30 seconds when we were watching it. It went on for a while. Maybe this is one they're mostly in depth with in terms of completing it.
I guess.
Okay, what we got next here? God, this goes on forever. We get it. It's skiing. Avalanche. Okay. There's I'm talking 1 second shot of the biplane game where you're shooting and then you hit a little balloon. It's literally like a second. Quick shot to, oh, they're not children, they're adults. We have 4 adults. This is a mock-up shot, advertising shot, or maybe it's, I don't know.
Of another party game.
Another party game. Maybe it's one that's supposed to be a party game and it comes with the system. Your friends can guess. It says, so your friends can guess. Those are literally like emoji.
Yeah, it
art.
looks like the answer is Ratatouille. So they're trying to play charades with emojis.
Oh, it's classic concentration.
Well,
okay.
Sort of.
Sure. Okay, we have what space shooter game is this?
I don't know.
Oh, it's supposed to be an asteroids game because it then goes into asteroids real quick. An updated asteroids game. Okay. The next is I guess the D&D game.
Yeah, although it's not listed on here as Dungeons and Dragons, I'm not
they
sure.
They probably got to get the license.
They probably didn't get that license.
So this looks like, if you want to say good, like mid '90s DOS game or mid '90s like CD-ROM game that you get. This looks like that, and then you're the little television running man. You're shooting the bow and arrow.
That's what the guy looked like in the original game.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yes.
I just was saying television man because that look right there. That's like the exact like look and run.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So okay. Our good old Moon Patrol. You are not a fan of
trash.
You're not a fan of Moon Patrol.
I love the game. That's why I'm like extra down on this version.
The original Moon Patrol have hills like this?
Dude, whatever.
Okay.
No, I don't think it had hills.
Am I trying to pump it up too much?
I'm not gonna. Yes, you are. I'm not gonna get excited about it.
Night Stalker to me looks like a mess in terms of what things are going on the screen. To me.
Yeah, like I look at it and initially the video game brain part of my brain goes, ooh, game.
Shiny colors.
And then I look at it and I go, what the fuck is going on here?
You have walls moving. You have lots of different explosions, different colors. You have the giant tarantula-looking guy in the middle there. So, and you have, looks like 4 players at once. You have the purple, you have the teal, you have the yellow, 3 or 4 players on the screen there. So, okay, there's your local, and then you have. I mean,
I'm interested. I just.
It's a little too busy. It probably would be fun, but I think it's a little too busy for me. You know what the problem is with me is this? When you see the bats, they blend into the walls.
Yeah.
When they're close, because they're both black and gray. Mm-hmm. You gotta have the bats, I think, be a brighter color, at least to me, to stand out there. And then you have VIP pre-orders coming March 31st. This was tacked on the end because this is literally done like in a Tidler in a video editing program in like 3 seconds. And that's it, Ian. So okay. So all right, there's about 2 or 3, I'd say, games on here that help to be packed in. Cornhole, to me, is probably the highlight of this, and probably the racing game. And then half of these are embarrassing or shouldn't even be shown, I would think, at this point in time. I mean, I'm trying to be nice, but
yeah, no.
Evil Knievel's embarrassing. This Pong game is an embarrassment to show this.
This was supposed to come out yesterday, and I have a feeling it was delayed 24 hours to shine shit as best as possible.
You think so?
Yes.
That one screen racing game is an embarrassment to show this, as you think that the family is going to be playing this game,
right?
At all. Astro Smash. I'm not an Astro Smash fan. I'll trust you saying it doesn't look that good. Shark. Come on, man. That's a mobile game. I mean, come on. The racing game could be interesting.
Every single one of these is a mobile game.
Well, shit. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm trying to say, like, when I think of mobile game in terms of aesthetics as well as gameplay, that's what I mean. Like the racing game, maybe they figured out a way to make the racing game fun with the controller. Maybe you twist but again, you can do it with the phone. There's nothing different about the phone versus that. So, okay, I think there's 3 games interesting out of these. Safecracker, you think it looks like dog shit? I don't know. I got to see more of Safecracker.
It could be an interesting game, but I'm just saying, like, graphically, like, how they put it together looks...
You don't like the aesthetic, the cartoony look, simple line drawing there?
I'd have to see more of it, I guess.
Okay.
All right, well...
You want to talk about what the current pre-order plan is real quick?
What is the current pre-order plan?
So, it was revealed on Atari Age, I believe, here. Where is the link here? So they're doing more pre-orders. And they were planning this even before the health crisis was happening. There was plans. Tommy had announced, Tommy Talrico, the president of Intellivision at this point, was saying that we are going to do more pre-orders. And now I think I saw a tweet saying we're going to do this to make sure we get it in your hands. So they're not going to be able to produce as many consoles as they originally wanted. So they're afraid that there wouldn't be any in stores that they would, I guess, run out. So people that really want it right away couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing more pre-orders. So okay, so now it's going to be with this is what Tommy was saying on Atari Age in terms of why the price has jumped up 50% in the past 6 to 7 months when it comes to this. So it said 150 was before engineering started and before we spoke to retailers. I'm not sure how you can price something before you do engineering on something, by the way. So the price range was 150 to 180. I always said it's going to be higher than lower. They said then they picked the chip and went to $200. Then they said they spoke to retailers who said it would seem too cheap at only $200. It would be just a retro or a flashback when they spoke to retailers, which to me would be strange because there's no flashbacks that have ever existed in my head that were even close to $200. Or standalones were usually between $50 and $100 historically, weren't they? Even the old Atari ones.
Yes.
So that to me is a strange thing. Why would a retailer think that? Anyway, because there's a lot of game consoles have come out or eventually went down to $200, especially handhelds. The 3DSs, and DSs were $200. So why would you? Those aren't flashbacks. I'm not saying he wasn't telling the truth. I just think that's really strange advice to give someone on pricing something.
Yeah.
Go over $200 because the Switch Lite's $200. People are buying because it's quality. It doesn't look cheap to them. Anyway, and like I said, look at the history of handheld consoles. Anyway, so at that point, let's say they try to do more responsive, capacitive touch screens. That point, it's going to be $229 to $239. But now with the scarcity of parts, it could get to $249 for the initial launch, and until the manufacturing supply chain stuff goes away, estimating Q2 of 2021. Meaning base units would sell for $249 for the first 6 months or so, then come down by the spring of 2021 if everything stays on track. If you think about it, very typical for any video game system. Your year one, it comes out at the biggest price. Then by Christmas of the following year, the first sales or bundles start to happen. Okay. Then he associates it with the Wii being $249 when it launched. Okay, comparing to Nintendo's console. Then you go down the line there. The links there, if you want to take a look there on Atari Age there. So this is going to be a $250 console before it gets shipped out to you or sales tax. If you're buying in most states have sales tax here. We're creeping up to $275, $280, $290. All things considered, you have to spend here. So now it's no longer a value system at this point.
No.
Now it's no longer, this is something I can pick up. It's not an impulse buy for sure. It's not something that, someone who has no idea what this is about is going to see this and say, oh, it's only $250. I'm going to grab it. We're totally out of that range. At $150, $160, you can maybe reach and make the argument. Under $200, not at $250.
At $250, you are directly competing with Nintendo.
Yes.
The only people who you cannot make an argument that if you're looking at an Amico and you're looking at a Switch,
sure, that
one is,
well, Switch Lite's $50 less at $199.
Right. Well, the Switch Lite won't bring you and your family, living room, family together, family,
sure.
Games, family.
But the regular Switch could.
Family. But the regular Switch will at $50 more. You look at that game launch lineup trailer, and then you show people what you can play couch co-op with family right now. Family, living room, Switch, family.
So you mean, Ian, I can't play a hard-looking Pong clone on a basketball court for $250, but I can play Super Mario Odyssey for $300?
So
or Mario Kart for $300?
And you can do that with 2 players right out of the box. You can't even make the argument that you need extra controllers.
Sure.
Same amount of, so then we're back at, okay, so it's $250. The known company that has a library of games out for it has a system at $300.
Which by probably a year from now, or 2 years at least, will be
that you can
lower.
hook up to a TV and play with family, friends in a living room. Or you can get the $200...
$250.
The $200 Switch Lite, which you could still use to link up with people.
Sure.
So now, or you get this. So what are you back to this selling? You have Tommy fanboys who want it because Tommy says it's going to be great.
Uh-huh.
Or you have people who are attached to the
Intellivision name.
The Intellivision name, the old Dungeons and Dragons game. Looking at the list, there was like a Lock and Chase game. Hey, I like Lock and Chase. R-Type, there's going to be a version of R-Type.
Frogbog?
There's going to be a Tron Deadly Discs. But you're going to have people who are really, really attached to the name that some of these mobile quality games are going to be carrying, to get them to fork out $250 when you have clear alternatives.
Yes.
And if graphics and things like that aren't supposed to matter, once again, sorry, Tommy's always saying things like, oh, the graphics don't matter, it's about getting people together with friends and family. Well, then you can buy a fucking PlayStation 4 for $200.
You can.
You can have fun with friends and family in a living room with other game systems that aren't going to be as expensive as this is going to be when it comes out. If you're not that concerned about having the latest and greatest, which was supposed to be a focal point of this anyways, was that you don't need the highest end graphics. You don't need all this fancy stuff.
Apparently not.
Yes.
I mean,
the more the price goes up, the harder it is to even look at this with any
seriousness.
With any seriousness. Yes. With anything more than like a shit.
And
chuckle.
And out there, if you think we're being haters, what do you think the mainstream game journalists would think that if they went, E3 is canceled, if they brought this to E3 and showed this off to someone from like GameSpot or IGN, what the hell do you think they would say or write about when they see this? You honestly think it would be positive? Say, hey, listen, this is going to be exciting. We got a $250 console coming out, so you can play a game that's free right now and probably looks better, the free version, than this garbage here.
Without calling us haters, explain to us why anyone should be excited about a $250 console that plays, frankly, embarrassing bullshit.
That Evel Knievel game looks, I mean, that's an embarrassment to me. That's a mobile game that should be free, and there are ones like that.
And
that are
as we've said, there's games in this trailer that look like they could be fun.
Yes,
but you're not. Like I don't want it to sound like we're hating entirely on developers here. But you don't need a standalone console to play these. And the more and more game shit that gets released, the more it becomes obvious to me that anything that those controllers are going to do special, that's going to make them unique, is going to be gimmicky garbage.
How the hell are you going to make me think that you need the special controller to play fucking Astro Smash, which is left, right, and shoot?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's be real here. Let's just be real when we're talking about this stuff here. You're going to have to force things in the game to use the controller to justify it.
They could come out tomorrow and tell me that any game could be loaded onto the controller and the controller could be taken with you as a portable. That's what our phone is for.
I was going to say that.
Like, I'm trying to think of like the craziest thing that could be told to me.
Yeah, because we don't know that it's portable. We don't think this isn't a portable system.
No, but I'm just saying. That's why I'm trying to think of like the craziest thing that they might consider an ace in a hole. Well, it's a portable game system too.
Or load the game onto the app to take your phone with you. Maybe
we're still playing
because a cell phone can power any of this stuff.
So then we're playing mobile games on our phone, which we already have, and we don't need a console for it.
Not just that. Half of these games we see, or I would say almost all of these, there's equivalents of all these games that exist in other places for forever. There's been games like Armor Battle, the tank game, that are available. Like, there's nothing original when you look at this.
No, nothing that was shown there was.
I'd say just Cornhole, just for the fact that it's motion controlled, and I couldn't find a standalone Switch game that was Cornhole. Was there one on the Wii? I'll look while you talk.
I don't know, but I mean, honestly, it's a motion controlled sports game, and hopefully it plays really well because all those games were sold in bundles and packs.
There was Target Toss Pro bags for the Wii. There was one.
Okay.
Target Toss.
But I mean, that's something else I would say too. A lot of those games, like Frisbee games on the Wii and stuff like that, they were bundled into like packages of 25 games at once.
Or yeah, We Play had 10 games.
We Play had 10. Wii Sports had 5. I don't know what Wii Sports Resort had. And then all the knockoff ones loaded like 25 to 50 games in there. Now, obviously, most of those sucked, and you only need one game. So hopefully the Cornhole game will just be good as Cornhole. But, yeah, anyways, I'm done. I'm angry.
You're angrier than I am.
Well, I mean, seriously, like...
I think there's like 3 or 4 interesting games in there.
Which is what I said. I'm just... Yeah. It's after all the talk, this is really what you're coming at.
But what did we expect? To be honest, what did we expect?
Not much. But I did want to watch that and have something surprise me, so I could be like, "Oh, see, I'm not a hater. I just this could be cool."
I was okay until I saw the Pong game, and then I saw that Evel Knievel game is pissing me off more than you possibly know. Because when I go over and with any young kid has a game on their phone like that, where it's like, oh, skateboard and move your phone to see if you can stay balanced. That's the most generic game.
I love games like that, but that's the thing. I've played 800 of them.
You can't bank on someone spending $250 to play that. You just can't. I'm sorry.
Because
I'm sorry,
here's
you
what you
can't.
can do when you offer like simple
Where's that fucking
experiences
game?
like that. When you offer simple experiences like that, what's one way to get people to notice them and take like and play
Look at
them
this.
in a modern era? It's to add flash and pizzazz to it.
Look at this. $250 to play this. Look at that.
I know. So they're not even doing that. It doesn't look particularly good. They're not even giving it like a coat of paint. Which is something I can say about the Breakout game, which is simple as it looks like fun.
They got to pack in. I'm not saying this is going to be a success, but I mean, to give it a better shot, you got to pack in the nice Breakout game. You got to do Cornhole. Cornhole has to be a packing game. You got to do this Breakout and the Cornhole up front. Shark will probably be. They'll probably do like an action game. They'll probably have an educational game in there. The racing game probably has to be a packing game. You got to put all your killer in as the packing games here. That's the problem. And it can't just be 5 games. I think you got to do probably 10. You got to do as many as you can for something like this.
Yeah.
You got to. Maybe the end game is just packing, like I said, I'm going back to my original thought. You pack in as many as you can, and you count on no one buying a game after that point.
So you make a collection of games that you need to buy a system for that no one's going to support after they buy it, instead of just making the collection of games that maybe we'd all be fucking playing and streaming when it came out.
I'm trying to think of the way out. I mean, like I said to Tommy on Twitter, I said, why don't you put these games out on the Switch? And he called me an idiot, basically, for saying that.
Well, because clearly nothing that we've seen in this trailer can be done on any system other than the Amico. You'd need to have that controller.
I don't know. I know it's hard to get lost in the shuffle. I'm just trying to even think about profit and loss when you're not going to be making a huge amount on these consoles, probably. Or maybe you will. I don't know. I guess if you raise it to $250, you're probably going to put in more value. You're going to make more money. But do some collections of games. Put the Cornhole game on the Switch and get the license advertised. Maybe you sell like 10, 20, 30,000 on the Switch alone for that game. You know what I mean? Of the Cornhole. And then you start building that up. I understand you want to come out with the console and have the dream of doing this competitor.
But then Tommy wouldn't have his ego project.
The whole Intellivision thing still doesn't make any sense. The range of people, when you look at the people talking about this on YouTube, there's like no one in their 20s, obviously, or 30s is going to have fond memories of the Intellivision because they don't exist. Yes, save for the one-off. Not everyone, Pat. Yes, there's the one kid that got stuck with Intellivision in 1991 for some reason. Yes, I know there's a few out there. I'm talking about the general population. We're too young for the Intellivision, you know. And the more people get aged out, would this have had a chance 10, 15 years ago if it came out against the Wii? Maybe. Would it have had a chance? Because the Intellivision nostalgia sort of was probably started dying out like 10, 15 years ago. Probably 15, 20 years ago. Would it have a chance then? Maybe. Or better chance? Probably. Because there were mothers 15, 20 years ago that grew up with the Intellivision.
I don't know, and I don't care. Because it's not the past, it's now. And this looks like dog shit.
Okay. I'm trying to think of solutions to something.
The solution is admit that you don't need these fucking controllers for anything. Put the games on a pack and release it and try to make the money back.
Do like a party pack with Cornhole, Breakout. Do like certain
all of them
packs.
Can't wait to play that fucking pool game.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. That pool game to include that as well. Okay, we moving on.
Yes.